Japan's space agency JAXA is preparing for one of its most ambitious deep space missions yet, a planned 2030s journey to retrieve samples from an ancient comet that could hold clues to the origins of life itself. The mission, known as the Next Generation Small Body Return or NGSR, will target Comet 289P Blancpain, a small, unusual object that has intrigued astronomers for more than 2 centuries. First discovered in 1819, the comet was later lost and remained untracked for nearly 200 years. It was only rediscovered in 2003, after initially being misclassified as an asteroid. Later observations confirmed its true nature as a comet, especially after it showed unexpected activity in 2013. Despite its long and complex history, 289PO Blancpain is relatively small, with a radius of about 160 meters. But what makes it scientifically valuable is not its size. It is its unusually low activity compared to typical comets. Unlike many comets that violently release gas and dust when approaching the Sun, this object remains relatively calm. This stability makes it a safer and more stable target for exploration. JAXA believes this makes it an ideal candidate for sample collection. The core goal of the NGSR mission is to bring back untouched material from the comet's surface, material that has remained largely unchanged since the early solar system formed over 4.5 billion years ago. Scientists hope these samples could contain preserved organic compounds, including molecules that may be linked to the origins of life. Previous studies of carbon-rich meteorites have revealed amino acids, which are considered key building blocks of life. If similar compounds are found in comet material, it could strengthen the theory that comets help deliver the ingredients for life to early Earth. Beyond the question of life's origins, the mission could also provide critical insight into how planets formed. Unlike asteroids, which are often altered by collisions and space weathering, comets are considered time capsules, preserving material from the earliest stages of the solar system. By analyzing their structure and composition, scientists aim to better understand how dust and ice particles gradually came together to form planets, moons, and other celestial bodies. However, the mission is not without major technical challenges. Collecting samples from a comet is extremely complex due to their fragile and unpredictable surfaces. To overcome this, JAXA plans to use a highly specialized spacecraft system, including a deep space transfer vehicle for the journey, and an advanced lander equipped with navigation cameras, laser mapping tools, and infrared sensors. One of the most critical steps involves creating a controlled impact on the comet's surface. Using a small impactor device, the spacecraft will expose subsurface material that has never been affected by solar radiation. This technique is designed to increase the scientific value of the collected samples. Once exposed, the spacecraft will carefully gather the material and store it in a way that prevents contamination or degradation during the return journey to Earth. Even with advanced engineering, risks remain. Comet material is extremely volatile, and delicate organic compounds could break down if not properly preserved in space conditions. Despite these challenges, the potential scientific rewards are enormous. If successful, the NGSR mission could provide a direct chemical link between comets and the origins of life on Earth. It could also reshape our understanding of how common life-building ingredients are across the universe. More broadly, the mission represents a major step forward in small-body exploration and deep space sample return technology, an area where JAXA has already established global recognition through previous missions. As planning continues into the 2030s, this mission stands as a bold attempt to answer one of science's biggest questions: whether the building blocks of life were born on Earth or delivered here from the depths of space. What began as a simple hike through the Krakatoa Mountains turned into one of the most astonishing treasure discoveries in recent memory. 2 hikers exploring a forest trail came across what looked like an ordinary aluminum can partially hidden in a stone wall. At first glance, it seemed like nothing more than discarded trash. But when they opened it, they uncovered something far more extraordinary: a hidden stash of nearly 600 gold coins. Inside the container were 598 gold coins carefully organized into 11 separate bundles wrapped in dark fabric. The discovery didn't end there. Just a short distance away, the hikers found a second hidden container, an iron box. Inside it were additional valuables, including 16 gold cigarette cases, 10 bracelets, and a silver mesh purse. The stash also included a comb and a chain with a key. Altogether, the collection weighed around 15 pounds. The collection appeared to have been deliberately concealed. Recognizing the importance, the hikers turned it over to the Museum of Eastern Bohemia for expert analysis. Researchers confirmed this was no random collection. The coins alone were dated between 1808 and 1915, spanning more than a century of European history. What makes the discovery even more intriguing is the diversity of origins. The coins came from multiple countries, Origins included France, Austria-Hungary, Russia, Italy, Romania, Belgium, and Turkey. This wide geographic mix suggests the collection was assembled over time, possibly through trade or inheritance. It appears this was a personal collection rather than a single-country hoard buried all at once. Some Austrian-Hungarian coins were still in circulation into the 1930s, adding complexity to the timeline. This adds further questions about exactly how and when the treasure may have been hidden. According to museum specialists, such combinations of currency and personal valuables are rare. This is especially true given their well-preserved condition and the deliberate way they were hidden. But the big question remains: why was it buried? Researchers believe the cause was historical uncertainty. In times of war, political instability, or economic collapse, it was common to hide wealth underground. Individuals would bury their savings for safekeeping, hoping to recover it when stability returned. For unknown reasons, this particular cache was never retrieved, remaining hidden for over a century. Despite careful analysis, the identity of the owner remains a mystery. Their story is lost to time. The treasure is now set to be preserved and displayed by the museum for the public to see. It offers a rare glimpse into a forgotten past and the personal lives of those who lived through it. As for the hikers who made the discovery, they are expected to receive a 10% reward. The reward is for their honesty in handing the items over to the authorities for preservation. What looked like an old piece of metal in a forest wall turned out to be a sealed moment in history. Untouched for decades, this treasure was just waiting to be found. A bridge to our shared history. A mysterious underwater discovery off the coast of Cuba has sparked debate among scientists and raised questions about what still lies hidden on the ocean floor. The story begins in 2001 when a Canadian exploration company was conducting a deep-sea sonar survey in waters known for historical shipwrecks. The team was originally searching for remnants of Spanish colonial vessels, but instead of shipwrecks, their equipment detected something far more unusual. At a depth of nearly 600 meters, sonar scans revealed what appeared to be highly symmetrical and geometric structures on the seafloor. The patterns looked unusually organized compared to typical natural formations, immediately drawing attention from researchers involved in the mission. Early sonar images showed shapes that appeared structured and repetitive, something that stood out sharply against the expected randomness of deep-sea geology. This led some members of the team to wonder whether they might be looking at the remains of a man-made site. As the investigation continued, a submersible robot was deployed to gather closer images. According to reports, the underwater terrain included large formations that resembled stone blocks. Some appeared rectangular, others circular, and a few even looked like pyramid-like structures scattered across the seabed. The unusual geometry led to speculation that the site could represent a submerged ancient settlement. One of the researchers described it as resembling a large and organized complex, though they also emphasized that no definitive conclusions could be made. Initial estimates suggested the structures could be thousands of years old, possibly dating back around 6,000 years. If confirmed, such a timeline would place the site in an extremely ancient period of human history, even earlier than many known early civilizations. However, this interpretation remains highly controversial. Many scientists have urged caution, pointing out that sonar patterns can be misleading. Underwater geological processes, sediment movement, and natural rock formations can sometimes create shapes that appear artificial when viewed through limited imaging technology. Experts in underwater archaeology have also questioned the claim, noting that there is currently no solid evidence confirming human construction at the site. Geological analysis further complicates the theory. Based on known tectonic activity, any landmass at that depth would likely have taken tens of thousands of years to submerge, far longer than the proposed timeline for human involvement in the region. In addition, specialists emphasize that the deep ocean remains largely unexplored. Some estimates suggest that more than 80% of the ocean floor has never been properly mapped in detail. This means that unusual formations like these can easily be misinterpreted without full-scale investigation. Cost and technical limitations have also prevented follow-up missions, especially at such extreme depths, leaving the site largely unverified since its initial discovery. As a result, the Cuban underwater structures remain an open question. Are they natural geological formations that only appear artificial under sonar imaging? Or do they represent something far more significant? Something that challenges our understanding of early human history? For now, there is no confirmed answer, only a mixture of intriguing data, scientific skepticism, and one of the ocean's many unresolved mysteries. A new fossil discovery from Egypt is challenging one of the long-held assumptions about where human and ape evolution began. Researchers have identified a previously unknown ancient ape species called Mazrapithecus mograensis, found in the Wadi Mogra region of northern Egypt. This species lived roughly 17 to 18 million years ago. This was a critical period in primate evolution, marking a major turning point in our history. For decades, East Africa has been considered the primary cradle of early human and ape evolution. Many of the most important fossil discoveries have come from that region, shaping our origin story. But this new finding suggests the story may be far more complex and geographically wider than previously believed. According to researchers, Mazrapithecus may be one of the closest relatives to the ancestors of modern apes. It is classified as a stem hominoid, sitting near the base of the family tree that led to today's apes. What makes this discovery especially significant is not just the fossil itself, but where it was found. Northern Egypt has not traditionally been a major focus for early ape evolution studies. Yet this region may have played a much more important role than scientists once thought. To determine its place, the team used advanced statistical modeling, known as Bayesian tip dating. This method combines anatomical features with geological age to estimate relationships precisely. It provides a clearer picture than traditional approaches, placing Mazrapithecus close to the early branch. The results place it during a time when Africa and Eurasia were beginning to connect through land routes. This connection allowed early species to migrate and diversify across the eastern Mediterranean. It was a time of massive movement and biological diversification across entire continents. This changing geography may be key to understanding how early apes spread and evolved. Instead of a single origin point, scientists now suggest a broader, interconnected evolutionary landscape. It was shaped by movement, climate change, and transitions across multiple regions. Researchers also emphasize that the fossil record from this time period is still extremely incomplete. Large parts of Africa remain underexplored, meaning crucial pieces of the puzzle could still be missing. Many important discoveries are likely still waiting to be unearthed in these remote regions. While East Africa remains important, this discovery highlights that it is not the only region that matters. Early ape evolution may have been a much wider and more interconnected process than we believed. Every new find adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of where we came from. In short, Mazrapithecus mograensis does not rewrite the entire story of human origins, but it strongly suggests that we may have been looking at only part of the picture all along. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the mysteries of our ancient past. I'm reporting for Tech News. A scientific idea once described as crazy has now been proven true, nearly 7 decades after it was first proposed. Researchers in the United States have successfully stabilized an extremely reactive molecule in water, confirming a 67-year-old theory connected to vitamin B1. The breakthrough not only solves a long-standing chemical mystery, but could also reshape the future of greener drug and material production. At the heart of the discovery is a highly unstable molecule called a carbene. In normal chemistry, carbon atoms prefer to have 8 outer electrons for stability, but carbenes only have 6, making them extremely reactive and short-lived. In most environments, especially in water, they break apart almost instantly, making them nearly impossible to study. For decades, scientists suspected that vitamin B1 might temporarily form a carbene-like structure inside the human body to help drive reactions. The idea was first proposed in 1958 by chemist Ronald Breslow. At the time, it was considered highly speculative because no one believed such a fragile molecule could exist in water. Now, researchers at the University of California, Riverside have changed that understanding. The team successfully created a carbene that remains stable in water, something previously thought to be impossible. Even more remarkably, they were able to isolate it, store it in a sealed environment, and observe it remaining stable for months. Their findings have been published in Science Advances. To achieve this, the scientists designed a protective molecular structure that acts like a shield around the reactive core. This barrier prevents water and other molecules from breaking it apart. Researchers described it as a kind of molecular armor that allows the unstable compound to survive long enough to be studied. Using advanced tools such as nuclear magnetic resonance and X-ray crystallography, the team was able to confirm the molecule's structure and stability in water under controlled conditions. Importantly, the results also validate Breslow's original hypothesis about vitamin B1. What was once dismissed as unlikely chemistry is now supported by direct experimental evidence. Beyond solving a decades-old scientific debate, this discovery could have major practical implications. Carbenes are widely used in chemical catalysts that help produce pharmaceuticals, fuels, and industrial materials. However, these processes often rely on toxic organic solvents that are harmful to both humans and the environment. If carbines can be stabilized and used in water instead, it could lead to a major shift towards sustainable manufacturing. Water is abundant, non-toxic, and environmentally friendly, making it an ideal medium for industrial chemistry. Researchers also believe this approach could help scientists better understand how complex reactions happen inside living cells. By learning how to stabilize reactive molecules in water, scientists may eventually replicate biological processes once impossible to observe. For the researchers involved, the breakthrough represents both a technical achievement and a scientific milestone. A theory once dismissed as unrealistic has now been confirmed, showing that even the most impossible ideas can become reality when the tools finally catch up to the imagination. Chinese scientists have uncovered new insights into how long-term farming changes the hidden life beneath our feet and what it means for the future of agriculture in desert regions. Researchers from the Northwest Institute of Eco-Environment and Resources, under the Chinese Academy of Sciences, have been studying how years of cultivation affect soil fauna. These tiny organisms play a critical role in maintaining soil health. Their findings provide important clues about how farming practices shape entire underground ecosystems. Soil fauna includes a wide range of organisms, from microscopic creatures to small insects, all of which form complex food webs beneath the surface. These organisms are essential for breaking down organic matter, recycling nutrients, controlling pests, and even helping detoxify harmful substances in the soil. However, scientists warn that soil fauna diversity is declining globally. Climate change and human activities, especially intensive farming, are accelerating this trend. In fact, the rate of decline in agricultural ecosystems is now higher than in many natural environments. To better understand this process, the research team conducted a long-term field study in an oasis farming region in Jiangye, located in northwest China's Gansu province. They compared natural desert land with farmland that had been cultivated for different lengths of time, 10, 30, 50, and even 100 years, as well as land that had been abandoned. Using a space-for-time approach, the scientists were able to track how soil ecosystems evolve over time without waiting decades for changes to occur. The results revealed a complex picture. In the early and mid stages of cultivation, farmland actually showed an increase in soil fauna diversity compared to natural desert conditions. This suggests that introducing vegetation and irrigation into arid regions can initially improve the soil environment and support a wider range of organisms. But over time, the trend begins to reverse. Long-term cultivation, as well as land abandonment, both led to declines in soil fauna diversity and function. These changes weakened the stability of soil ecosystems and reduced their ability to perform essential functions like nutrient cycling and pest control. The study also found that intensive farming affects multiple levels of the soil food chain, creating ripple effects that disrupt the entire system. As these networks weaken, soil health deteriorates, making ecosystems more fragile and less productive. Despite these challenges, the research highlights an important takeaway. Carefully managed cultivation has the potential to improve soil conditions. It can reshape biological communities in positive ways, but only if sustainability is prioritized. By understanding how soil fauna responds to long-term farming, scientists can develop better strategies to protect soil health and improve agricultural productivity. This is crucial for maintaining ecological balance in some of the world's most vulnerable environments. This research offers a valuable scientific foundation for evaluating soil health. It could play a key role in shaping more sustainable farming practices in arid and semi-arid regions worldwide. Ultimately, the secret to our future food security may lie in the complex life hidden just beneath our feet. Sustainable farming is not just about the crops we see, but the microscopic world we protect. Thanks for joining us for this update. Stay informed on the latest scientific developments shaping our world. China is preparing for its next major step in lunar exploration, with the Chang'e 7 mission officially scheduled for launch in the second half of 2026. This ambitious project marks a significant milestone in the global race to explore the lunar frontier. According to the China Manned Space Agency, the Chang'e 7 probe has already been delivered to the Wenchang spacecraft launch site, located on Hainan Island. Engineers and scientists are now moving into the testing phase as pre-launch checks and system validations begin. Officials say the launch facilities are fully prepared and all mission preparations are progressing on schedule. This mission is expected to play a critical role in advancing China's long-term lunar strategy. Unlike earlier missions, Chang'e 7 will focus on the Moon's south pole, a region that has gained global attention. This area is of immense scientific value due to its potential water ice deposits and unique environmental conditions. The mission is designed to test several advanced technologies that could shape the future of lunar exploration. These include high-precision soft landing in challenging terrain, essential for exploring the Moon's most difficult regions. The mission will also test robotic mobility using legged movement systems, allowing for unprecedented access to rugged terrain. And they are even developing hopping mechanisms to navigate uneven surfaces that traditional rovers simply cannot reach. These innovations are especially important for exploring areas that traditional rovers cannot easily access. Chang'e 7 will use a multi-layered exploration approach to maximize data collection. Instead of relying on a single system, the mission will combine an orbiter, a lander, a rover, and a hopping probe. Together, these components will conduct detailed environmental analysis and search for vital resources across the South Pole. This includes searching within permanently shadowed craters where sunlight never reaches. Another key aspect of this mission is the significant focus on international collaboration. China has indicated that global partners will be involved, reflecting a broader shift toward cooperative space exploration efforts. Officials also highlighted that this mission is part of a larger, integrated plan for lunar dominance. China is aligning its unmanned lunar exploration programs with its future crewed moon landing ambitions. The goal is to maximize efficiency, share technological advancements, and build a strong foundation for human presence. This foundation is critical for the eventual long-term habitation and exploration of the Moon. Overall, the Chang'e 7 mission represents more than just another lunar launch. It signals a strategic move toward deeper space exploration and technological innovation, all centered around one of the most scientifically important regions of our Moon. For centuries, scientists have known that tobacco plants produce nicotine, a powerful natural compound. But exactly how they do it has remained a mystery. Now, that mystery has finally been solved. A team of researchers from China has uncovered the complete step-by-step process that plants use to create nicotine. Their findings, published in the journal Cell, reveal a highly sophisticated biological system inside a wild tobacco species. Nicotine is part of a broader family of plants that includes tomatoes, potatoes, and eggplants. In nature, it serves as a potent defense mechanism, acting as a natural insecticide. For humans, it has also attracted scientific interest for its potential role in treating neurological conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. To understand how nicotine is formed, the researchers used an advanced, integrative approach, combining genetic data and biochemical analysis. This allowed them to trace the entire production pathway from beginning to end using molecular mapping. What they discovered is that nicotine is not produced in a single reaction. Instead, the plant relies on a coordinated system of 5 enzymes. These enzymes form a temporary complex known as a metabolon, functioning like a microscopic assembly line. Each enzyme performs a specific task, passing intermediate compounds along in a tightly controlled sequence. One of the most important breakthroughs came from identifying a key gene responsible for building nicotine's core structure. This was made possible by studying a mutant plant that naturally lacked nicotine, giving scientists a clear comparison point. The study also revealed a clever chemical strategy used by the plant to protect itself during production. This process, known as glycosylation, attaches a sugar molecule to unstable intermediates to stabilize them. After several controlled reactions, including reduction and oxidation, the sugar is removed, releasing the nicotine. This prevents toxic substances from accumulating, solving the autotoxicity dilemma, how the plant avoids poisoning itself. Once nicotine is fully formed, it is actively transported into a specialized storage compartment called the vacuole. There, it remains safely stored until needed for defense against herbivores. Researchers say this discovery marks the end of a decades-long scientific puzzle. But beyond that, it opens up new possibilities in the field of synthetic biology and compound production. This could lead to future innovations in medicine, agriculture, and biotechnology. A massive breakthrough that deepens our understanding of the natural world and its potential. The Artemis II astronauts have returned to Earth to a hero's welcome, marking a powerful moment in humanity's long-awaited return to deep space exploration. After completing a historic mission around the Moon, the 4-member crew safely splashed down off the coast of San Diego before traveling back to Houston. At Ellington Field, near NASA's Johnson Space Center, they were greeted by a cheering crowd of engineers, astronauts, officials, and family members. Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen stood together on stage, visibly emotional. The welcome ceremony was led by NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, who introduced the crew to a standing ovation. The timing of their return added deeper meaning. It came on the anniversary of the Apollo 13 launch, a mission remembered for turning crisis into triumph. That legacy of resilience echoed throughout the Artemis II homecoming, bridging two eras of lunar exploration. For the astronauts, the mission was deeply personal. Wiseman described the experience as a dream fulfilled and a reminder of the importance of home. Pilot Victor Glover admitted the scale of what they accomplished still hasn't fully sunk in, reflecting on the magnitude of their journey. Hansen spoke about unity, saying the crew represents something bigger, a reflection of humanity itself reaching for the stars. During their nearly 10-day mission, Artemis II pushed farther into space than any human mission in decades. The crew traveled over 252,000 miles from Earth, surpassing previous records set during the historic Apollo era. They journeyed behind the moon, witnessing its far side in a way no human had seen before in modern times. Among the mission's most striking moments was the capture of an Earthset image, showing our planet disappearing behind the moon's surface. The image offers a new perspective, echoing the iconic Earthrise photo but with a modern and deeply symbolic twist. Christina Koch described the view as humbling, noting how small and fragile Earth appeared against the vast darkness of space. It reinforced a powerful message, that Earth is not just a planet, but a shared home for all humanity. The crew also witnessed a total solar eclipse from deep space, adding another layer of awe to an already historic journey. Despite the mission's success, it wasn't without challenges. A malfunction in the spacecraft's toilet system was a practical reminder. NASA has already confirmed that improvements will be made to these essential systems ahead of future long-duration flights. Artemis II marks the first time humans have traveled to the moon since 1972, ending a gap of more than 5 decades. The success of this mission is a critical step in NASA's broader Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the lunar surface. Looking ahead, NASA is preparing for Artemis III, where astronauts will test the key systems needed for landing. Artemis IV, targeted for 2028, aims to land humans near the moon's south pole, a region holding vital resources for exploration. With Artemis II, a new chapter of space exploration is no longer a plan, it's already in motion. After more than half a century, humanity is once again reaching beyond Earth, not just to explore, but to stay.